Hi guys. Okay, are we in focus? I think we are. Okay guys, so today I wanted to make a video that's a bit more in the style of my raw emotions video that I used to do a while back. So it's been a while actually. Yeah, I know that a few of you have been asking why I haven't made any of those in a long time. I guess it's just because I haven't been feeling very comfortable on YouTube. I mean, it's not that I don't feel comfortable on YouTube, it's just that ever since I started making French videos about topics such as veganism, feminism and such, I've been getting a lot of hate, I've been getting a lot of trolls, I've been getting a lot of backlash, and you know, it's something I've kind of been used to because even when I was, you know, even when I talk about the subject in English, I do get a bit of that kind of, you know, feedback, but way lesser and way less important and way less violent. I think France is still not as used to having people speak up about these things on YouTube, and France is not, you know, there are ideas such as intersectionality and anti-racism and the fact that, you know, white racism does not really exist. All those things in France are not as, I'm not saying they're mainstream in the US, because I feel like we have a very progressive vision of the US because of, you know, the people we watch online and we follow online and the artists and such, and I know it's completely different from like when you're going out in the streets and such. But in France you have to understand that even the media, even the alternative and the indie sort of media are not really at the same sort of like stage in the US, for example, or in the UK. So yeah, I've been getting a lot of really negative backlash and a lot of really negative, I mean, I don't want to say negative, really hateful comments and really hateful people just spending their time making videos about me and stuff. Therefore, I didn't really feel like, you know, coming on YouTube to just share my personal life or just share my feelings and my emotions. Especially because, you know, when you speak in another language, even though I do feel like English is part of, to me it does not feel like a foreign language, even though I'm not saying like I'm perfectly bilingual. I know my accent is very perceivable, I know I like some vocabulary and stuff, but I am at a point, I think, in fluency when it comes to English. I am at a point in English when it comes to fluency where it's kind of like I can express you know, whatever I want to express. I can interact with anyone on any kind of given subject. I feel like there wouldn't be any big thing that I would not be able to understand. So even though I do feel like English is kind of my language in a way, it still isn't. And I think that subconsciously or unconsciously, you know, it helps when you want to talk about personal things and when you want to talk about things that really matter and things that makes you feel vulnerable, and I really do not feel comfortable addressing these things in French. So, you know, I don't know if you guys speak a little bit of French or anything, but if you look at the videos I have published in French, none of them are really personal. I have made a video about asexuality and I've made one video about anxiety, and even in those two videos I remain very composed and very like, it's not really personal. And I think that's gonna stay this way for a long time because I just don't feel like opening up and being so vulnerable online. And that's kind of something I wanted to talk about today. I know I have talked about this before a little bit, like I've talked about how people feel entitled to, you know, your life and knowing things about you and criticizing you and stuff. And I also just want to ask, it's not really asking, but I kind of want to ask you guys, if you are making videos online, and if not, why? Because I feel like it's a bit, you know, one thing that really has always sort of puzzled me on YouTube, not in a negative way, but like interested me, is why are there some people that really enjoy watching content and are so nice and so kind and don't do it to criticize and don't do it to hate, and also people who comment so nicely and kindly and offer a lot of support and who have such, you know, interesting viewpoints and interesting stories to tell, but they choose not to. And I've always wondered if, you know, in a way, it's not like, you know, when you enjoy looking at something, or when you enjoy watching, or when you enjoy consuming something, but in a way, in a subtle, very little way, you feel like those things are not things that you should do. And, you know, growing up, I've been on YouTube for a long time, and I have always been super open, and I've always shared most of the things about my life. But with time and growing up, I feel like it's not hard and it's not more difficult to open up, but it's like, I feel like it's something that I see so little in life, people opening up and people being vulnerable and people talking about their insecurities and people being like, yes, I was wrong about this, yes, I don't feel comfortable doing this, yes, this is something I can't do. I don't really understand why it's such a big thing to open up about your private life, or it's such a big thing to be vulnerable. Like, I understand in a way, because, you know, I just say that I was not going to do it in French, but the reason why I'm not doing it in French is because it's online and because I'm receiving a lot of hate. But what I'm talking about right now is more like in everyday life, with people that you meet, people you encounter, be it your neighbors, your friends, your acquaintances, your family and stuff. I feel like people keep things bottled up inside of themselves and don't really understand where it comes from. Because honestly, I just want to say I've been getting a lot of positive, really amazing comments, amazing messages, amazing video responses, amazing just support from you guys. And from people that sometimes did not share my political views, with people who had nothing in common with me, with people who had not been, you know, watching my content for years. So it's just like, I do believe that every single human being has a potential, like a spark in themselves that will allow them, if they are ready to do so, to just receive someone's vulnerability, someone's insecurities, someone's feelings, and just turn all of those exchanges into something incredibly positive. And I'm really, like, I think this is something that we lack in our society, and we lack really in our relationships with people. Even when you look at relationships between friends or between lovers, it's all about, you know, keeping things for yourself and being cautious and just making sure the other is not taking advantage on you. And like, what kind of relationship is it if you can't just be open? What kind of relationship is it if you can't just trust? What kind of relationship is it? And, you know, I know that despite what I said, you know, most of the reactions have been very positive to my decision to be so open and to share things that are usually very private. I've been also getting a bit of criticism from people that did not understand why I was doing this, who felt that it was dangerous, who felt that, you know, it was too naive. And I just want to say, I feel like it's part of my nature to be so open, but it's also a deliberate choice. You know, I might be very naive, but I'm 25 and I've had my fair share of, you know, negative encounters and meetings. I've had people take advantage of me, I've had people steal from me, I've had people just be super mean to me, I've had people really disappoint me, but never in my life have I turned bitter in, you know, I am probably sort of bitter when it comes to like humanity as a whole, when it comes to the environment and animals and stuff, but I have never turned bitter in my relationships. Like, I've never met an individual and assumed things about them and decided I would not open up to them because something had happened to me or because this or that. And obviously, if you've had a big trauma, it's completely understandable. I'm not trying to judge anyone here. What I'm saying is, I just want people to understand that opening up and being kind and being like, you can hurt me if you want, in a way. I'm not necessarily gonna just wait here for you to hurt me, but you have the tools to hurt me because I decided to open up in front of you. It's not only just, you know, something that naive and kind and just, you know, people who see life in pink or thing that people do. It's also sometimes a deliberate choice. It is my choice. It is my reaction to the world we live in. It is my reaction to the sort of interactions that I see happening around me. and that I don't think are very positive. And I realize that very frequently when you start to open up and when you start to be vulnerable, there are very few people who will actually take the chance to take advantage on you. I think we live in a world where we are constantly told that people will take advantage, people will hurt you whenever they can, people will fool you whenever they can. I don't really think that's true. Obviously there are dangerous and sick and mean people out there, and you kind of should be careful. But there are way more kind people that are insecure and are just waiting for someone to be opening up in that way. For wow, the light, see, God is approving. People that are just waiting for someone to open up in that way so that they can open up in that way too. So I kind of wanted to connect that with YouTube a little bit, because you know, it's not only something I do on YouTube, it's something I do in my private life, it's something I do with people I meet, it's something I try to do on a conscious level in my everyday life. And it's also why I'm on YouTube. I'm here on YouTube, sure, to talk about things that I'm passionate about and to talk about things that I think are worth standing up for, but I'm also here because I think exchange and communication are really necessary and crucial in our world. And I kind of wanted to reinforce that because I feel like it's been a while since I haven't talked about this, and because I haven't been making as many videos as I used to in English, and because my French videos are not personal, I feel like this is something that has sort of like disappeared a little bit from my channel, and I really wanted to put it out there. So thank you for watching this video. Feel free to answer questions I've asked in this video. They're interested in, you know, knowing what you think of all these guys, and I shall see you soon. Bye bye!